Hello and welcome to the Doge and Maha News Channel. In this channel, I'm going to give you daily updates on the Department of Government Efficiency as well as the Make America Healthy Again campaigns. I am super excited. I love what RFK is talking about when he talks about making America healthy again. I hope you do too. You know, this is something that we should all get behind as Americans because our food system is, I think it's poisoning us. And as more and more information is revealed in this area, we will find out more and more truth behind this. But I'm really curious to see what RFK can do. And I don't know if you've seen the videos, and I'll dig them up and share them in future videos. But I don't know if you've seen it where they are comparing Fruit Loops in America with Fruit Loops in other countries, the colors and the differences, all the chemicals that are in our food that are banned in other countries. It's shocking, actually. I can't believe I have not been aware of this for almost my entire life, and that it's been happening, and I've been eating this stuff. Let's check out this video from RFK where he is giving a speech. I think it's at Madison Garden, and he is talking about his vision on making America healthy again. Let's check it out. Okay, the crowd's going wild. Again, this is in Madison Square Garden. This is probably about 7 days before the election. They're going pretty crazy for him.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's pretty awesome. A lot of energy there. That would have been fun to be there.
A lot of people ask me why I left the Democratic Party.
Okay, I skipped ahead here a little bit because he is talking about why he left the Democrat Party and what the Democrat Party is all about. He continues here, but this is the point where he starts talking about big food and big pharma and big tech and that kind of thing. So we'll go ahead and jump in right here.
And this is the party of Wall Street.
He's talking about the Democrat Party here.
Big data.
Big data.
Big tech.
Big tech.
Of the military contractors. And the parties of big pharma.
Big pharma,
big ag. Big food.
Big agriculture.
And big chemicals.
Food, big chemicals.
This is the party that's given us the sickest children in the history of the world. When my uncle was president, 6% of Americans had chronic disease, and we spent zero on chronic disease in this country. Today, 60% of Americans have chronic disease.
Wait a second. So when his uncle was president, JFK, what was that? 60 years ago, 60% of 6% of Americans had chronic illnesses. Today, 60% of Americans have chronic illnesses. Wow. So basically, what, 3 out of 5 people? If you're in a room with 5 people, 3 of them have a chronic illness? That is crazy. And so what happened in those 60 years? What changed? Well, I mean, could it be big pharma? Could it be big food, big chemical? Oh, wow. This is really interesting. And he said that $0 was spent at that time on these chronic illnesses. Let's see how much was spent now.
This is existential for our country. We're spending $4.3 trillion a year, 5 times our military budget.
$4.3 trillion a year is spent on chronic illnesses, 5 times our military budget. It seems like to me that this is something that we need to get our arms wrapped around right away. This is a threat. I mean, this is basically we are killing ourselves.
77% of American boys cannot qualify for military service because of chronic disease diagnoses.
77% of boys cannot qualify for military service? What? Did you know that? I didn't know that.
This is existential for our country. President Trump called me 3 hours after his shooting. And he said, would I come and sit down with them? And he said to me during that meeting, he said, there are some things that we can agree on and some we disagree on, but the landscapes on which we agree are so much larger. He said, I want to end the wars.
Sounds like a good idea.
I want to end this surveillance and censorship.
Free speech?
I want to protect the Constitution.
Yes.
I want to protect freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. There it is.
I want to end the surveillance. I want to end the weaponization of government against American politicians.
That's good, too.
And I want to end the chronic disease epidemic.
There you go. End the chronic disease epidemic. Can he do it?
Now,
I hope so.
don't you think that
I hope so. I hope he can do it. We're going to find out over the next couple of years what kind of impact he can make. I'm super curious to find out. I hope you are too. I hope you want to follow along on this journey. I do. I'm going to be checking the news every single day and reporting out on what RFK is doing and what the Make America Healthy Again agenda is accomplishing. So if you want to see that as well, make sure you like and subscribe, follow along. We're going to learn a lot over the next couple of years.
we deserve a president in this country who's going to restore the moral authority of the United States of America. Don't you think that we deserve a president who's going to end the warfare state and rebuild the middle class?
Sounds good.
Don't you want a president who's going to put America first? And don't you?
Yeah, how much money have we sent overseas? How much money have we wasted on frivolous research studies? But we haven't hardly given any money to like the people in Hawaii who had their whole town burned down. Or what about money for the people that were devastated by the hurricanes in South Carolina and Florida?
You want a president who's going to protect our children and who's going to protect women's sports.
I don't know about you, but do you have kids that are in the public school systems? My daughter is a senior in the public school systems, and she says the food that they give you is terrible. Terrible. She's always complaining about it, always actually saying, you know what, Michelle Obama and her, healthy food initiative for schools was a joke. I mean, they're getting just terrible food. Why can't we spend some of this money that is going overseas to provide good food for our kids in our public schools?
And who's going to stop dividing this country along racial lines? And don't you want a president who's going to end the corruption at the federal agencies?
Yeah, and the corruption.
At FDA.
The FDA, yeah.
At NIH. At
FDA, NIH. I mean, how corrupt is the FDA? I mean, all the chemicals that they allow in our food that are illegal to be put in food in other countries. I mean, there are foods that you can't buy in other countries just because the ingredients are illegal in those countries. You try to buy some of these foods, that prepackaged foods in Europe, you cannot do it. You can't find them there. They're illegal. Why are they legal in the U.S.?
CDC and at the CIA. And don't you want a president who's going to make America healthy again?
Yes, I love this. Man, I'm so excited to follow this journey to see what RFK can do and what happens. And I just feel like a lot of stuff is getting exposed right now. And man, if we can just turn our food systems around to have healthy food, it's just going to help everyone reduce those chronic diseases, have everyone healthy at a healthy weight. Man, I'm excited.
And don't you want a president who's going to make America great again? And we need to go to the polls on November 5th and vote for Donald Trump. God bless you and God bless America.
Okay, now let's go ahead and go forward in time and watch this news report about RFK being selected by Trump as the director of the Health and Human Services, or the secretary of HHS. Here we go.
2025 presidency and what that's going to look like for
We got some
President-elect Donald
breaking
Trump.
news.
Again, that breaking news that we have now at this time is that he has officially announced that the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services will be Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Good
Let's
news.
go ahead and also show you a tweet that we have here as well from the president-elect Donald Trump that he put out. He says, "I'm thrilled to announce Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. For too long, Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies who have..."
That is true. I don't think we knew it. I know I didn't really know it at all until recently. I've started to see this information pop up. But yeah, we have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies. I don't know why I've missed this, but I've just kind of assumed that these organizations have had my best interests at heart, have had your best interests at heart, and that is a lie. I assumed that the big food and big pharma were actually doing good things for us, and that the FDA was there to help us and protect us if they were going to do anything that was going to hurt us. The fact is that no, both the FDA and these organizations have not had our best interests at heart.
Have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation when it comes to public health. The safety and health of all Americans is the most important role of any administration, and the HHS will play a big role in helping to ensure that everybody will be protected from harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, pharmaceutical products, and food additives that have been
Protected. I love that. Protected from harmful pharmaceuticals, food additives, chemicals. Yes.
contributing to the overwhelming health crisis in this country. Mr. Kennedy will restore these agencies to the traditions of the gold standard, scientific research, and beacons of transparency to end the chronic disease epidemic and to make America great and healthy again. And this is the latest tweet that just came.
Make America great and healthy again. I want to be healthy again. I'm going to dive into a book by, I believe it's by Casey Means, and we're going to take a look at some of that in future videos and some of that information there about the industrial food complex and big pharma and how they have been working together, and the results of that has really harmed Americans' health.
From President-elect Donald Trump announcing that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will be the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services.
Well, I hope you're excited like I am for Make America Healthy Again. I am super excited to go along this journey to see what RFK can do to bring healthy food back to America, to get rid of these chemicals that are in our food. I'm really curious to see what happens, and I'm going to go ahead and bring the daily stories to you so you can keep an eye on what is happening in this area as well. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to follow along and find out what is happening in this area every single day. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.